Here's to the finest crew in Starfleet. Engage.
I'm your host, Adam Pranica.
I'm your other host, Ben Harrison. Well, Adam, this is the part of the show where we'll talk about what the next episode is and what we can remember about it. And also, one power we have given ourselves in this series is that we each have a single veto over an episode per season. So there's 7 seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation. There's some real turkeys in the list of episodes. There's like 170 something episodes of this show, and we would probably kill ourselves if we had to watch the 14 worst episodes among those. So we each have a veto, and we'll discuss what the next episode is and whether either of us wants to invoke our veto.
I think that's a great idea. Oh man, what's up next? What's our next episode?
Next episode is called Haven. Counselor Troy is caught between her feelings for Riker and her devotion to family customs when she faces a prearranged marriage. So this will be a visit from my other least favorite running character in the Star Trek universe, which is Troy's mom, who is, I think she was, she's the voice of the computer and also Gene Roddenberry's wife.
Well, that's convenient.
I think, what's her name? Majel Barrett or something like that?
Everyone hates nepotism.
Yeah, and for good reason. She's fucking annoying. Like, she's written to be annoying, and she succeeds.
I'll tell you what, man, I've got my veto out. I'm sort of rolling it around in my hand.
Finger hovering over the veto trigger. I mean, like, they clearly know that she's annoying because every time she comes on after this, the characters like roll their eyes and try to make excuses to not be there or whatever.
And look, I think this says a lot about like how good she is at playing annoying. Like, it's one thing to like have an annoying character and it be the fault of the actor portraying them. Like,
yeah.
But in this case, I feel like her performance is effective because it's supposed to evoke strong feelings. So, like, I don't think it's her fault. I think it's just annoying character.
Yep. Well,
Fuck it, man. I'm gonna veto.
Oh, really?
I don't want it. I don't want it. Yeah.
I think, Adam, just because I'm a diabolical asshole, I'm going to nullify your veto.
Oh, my God. Oh, that sucks. That means we're out of vetoes for the rest of the season.
And this would be the season that you would want 2 vetoes.
Oh, God.
I am the cutest of all. There are 4 lights.
What do we have coming up on the next episode?
Our next episode is Season 2, Episode 18, Up the Long Ladder. The crew's rescue of a missing Earth colony leads to the discovery of a civilization composed entirely of clones. Do you have any memory of this episode, Adam?
Is this the Space Irish episode?
This is the Space Irish episode.
Oh, boy. I only remember this episode as being ultra hokey and farmy.
Yeah.
Like, do they build a farm on board the ship?
Yeah, they like strew straw around in the cargo bay.
Are there barnyard animals?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I kind of hate this
The thing
episode,
is,
Adam.
I was guessing all of the stupidest things I could imagine, and you're saying yes to all of them.
I actually am going to veto this episode. I fucking hate it so much.
Ooh. God damn it. The thing is, if I burn a counter veto here, it's over. How many more episodes do we have in season 2? Like another 30, right?
I think this is a 22 episode season, so there's
God damn it.
There's 5 more.
You know what? You got to experience the exquisite joy of counter vetoing me.
It wasn't that joyful. I had to watch a terrible episode.
I feel some amount of envy for that power, so I'm going to counter veto you.
No!
I actually get to watch you jump on some guest room bed.
Are you really fucking serious?
Yeah, let's watch it.
Fuck you. God damn it.
You know the worst episodes of this show are the most fun to riff on.
Well, I'm not going to veto a good episode.
Yeah. Why would you ever do that?
Yeah, so I just want to avoid watching a terrible fucking episode.
The next episode is going to be the most flophousey episode of this podcast that we've done yet.
This is a terrible episode, and I'm pretty mad that we're going to watch it.
We should bust out some Space Guinness for this. Space Guinness and Space Jameson. What are we watching for the next episode?
Next episode is Season 3, Episode 2, The Ensigns of Command. Data races against time to save a human colony that's been marked for death by aliens. Do you remember this episode, Adam?
I do not remember this episode at all. It sounds like Data is going to engage in some sort of limb for hostage exchange.
This is probably in my top 10.
Whoa!
I like this episode a lot. There's like a crazy type of alien, and there's a lot of like Picard lawyering, and there's a lot of great like Data character development with like, you know, him kind of coming into his own as somebody who's comfortable as a commander. You know, like he doesn't do a lot of management in seasons 1 and 2. In this episode, he has to like convince people to listen to him as a leader, and I'm excited to watch it.
I don't know, man. It sounds pretty talky. I can't believe that an episode that is in your personal top 10 is one that I don't remember at all.
I think you'll remember it the second you start seeing it. I think these descriptions kind of suck.
Yeah.
Here's what I'll do for you, Adam. I'll do some Picosby to try and jog your memory.
You see, Theo, when the Enterprise is trying to save this human colony, a alien race called the Shellyak are coming in to wipe them out, you see. Rudy and the Shellyak look like garbage bag people, you see.
Ben, oddly enough, that totally jogged my memory.
Yes!
I do remember the Shellyak, and I do remember their garbage bag costumes.
Yeah.
Like they actually hail them, and the bridge of the Shellyak ship is just people covered in garbage bags and some really hard lighting.
That's the thing. There's a cool alien threat, and I think the episode is interesting on a lot of levels. So I will not veto.
Yeah, fuck this episode. I'm gonna veto it.
Fuck you. What, are you serious? You're just mad about your last veto. Are you seriously vetoing?
Yeah, I kind of want to see what's gonna happen here.
I can't allow you to veto this episode because I will have to burn my veto, and then we have an entire season in front of us that. No, I counteract your veto. But
what do you think about that?
You fucked us again, Adam. God damn it.
Oh, man. That felt amazing. Episode 1 of a season. Fuck yeah.
I am the cutest of all. There are 4 lights.
What do we have coming up on the next episode, Ben?
The next episode is Season 4, Episode 2, Family. When the Enterprise undergoes repairs on Earth, crew members reunite with families, and Picard comes face to face with his jealous brother. Do you remember this episode, Adam?
I do remember this episode, Ben. 11-year-old me was so crestfallen. Like, you go through basically the most intense 4 months of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You get through Best of Both Worlds Part 2, and you get a fucking soap opera afterwards. I was so pissed at the end of this episode. I thought we were going to get action sci-fi from here on out. Like, this show is so great at action sci-fi. Finally, we get shoot-em-ups and action. I hated this episode when it came out, Ben. Hated it.
Well, Adam, we do, technically speaking, each have a veto that we can invoke every season. Would you want to use your veto on this episode?
I'm thinking a lot about it, Ben. I got to tell you.
Because I think that this at this juncture last season, this is I think when you used your veto. I think it was either episode 1 or episode 2
No, I
of
came right out of
season
the
3.
gate with it on episode 1. And
okay.
I have no regrets about that.
You don't?
This episode's even more melodramatic than that one. God, I hate this episode. I'm gonna use it.
Wait.
I don't like this episode.
Oh, Adam, that's a bad call.
Why?
Because there's some turkeys in season 4. I know you have like a personal beef with this episode, but let me just remind you that
Walk me off this ledge.
There's a Q episode. There's a Waxana episode in this season. There is that episode where Dr. Crusher is going crazier and crazier on the ship, and nobody remembers any of the other crew members.
I like that one.
Well,
I don't want to see Picard and his brother cry in a vineyard.
there's the episode where Data has a girlfriend.
Oh, that was fun. I like all of those episodes more than this one.
Really?
I really do. I don't like this episode, man.
What about the episode when Counselor Troy has to quit being counselor because she can't empathize with anybody anymore?
You're being pretty compelling and reasonable about the idea of just backpocketing this veto.
This is an important character moment for Captain Picard, and if you veto, I have to burn a veto to overcome.
Why don't
your
you
veto.
just let it go? We don't have to watch this one.
I feel like I've said my piece, Adam. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
I'm going to put it back in my pocket.
Oh, yeah. That's excellent. That's excellent news.
I'm not saying you'll be able to lawyer Picard me forever on this. I truly don't believe I have seen this episode since the first time I saw it, because I skip it every time I see it on reruns. It left such a foul taste in my mouth.
Well, maybe you'll find that it's better than you remember, Adam.
What do we have coming up on the next episode, Ben?
The next episode is episode 5, Remember Me. Wesley's experiment with warp fields results in the mysterious disappearance of the crew. Do you remember this episode, Adam?
I remember really liking this episode. This is one of those episodes that if I get a chance and I'm just flipping through the eps, I will occasionally watch this one for fun.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Why?
I like real weird Twilight Zone-y episodes, and this is one of them for me.
Well, I don't, so I'm going to veto.
Well, fuck you, because we're watching it.
Adam, we can't keep doing this. We can't keep burning vetoes. You insist?
Do you insist?
Fine, fuck you. You burned your veto. You did it again.
Why are you saying I'm burning my veto? You're the one that burned your veto first.
Because this episode is a turkey.
No, it's not. It is not.
It's a total turkey, Adam.
There's some caviar on this bird, Ben, and I want to watch it.
Wow. I can't believe we're going to go for a season 4 with no fucking veto. It's getting to be a joke that we don't even want to do them.
People think that we pre-plan this shit, but we don't.
No.
That was a real shocker, Ben.
This is becoming a speech.
You're the captain, sir. You're entitled.
Not entitled to ramble on about something everyone knows.
The next episode is season 5, episode 10, New Ground. Worf learns some painful lessons about parenting when his son Alexander arrives to join his father on the Entrepreneur. Do you remember this episode, Adam?
Is this isn't hot Waxana hot tub, right?
Oh, no. Is it?
I don't think so. No, I think this is the first one where Alexander comes back to stay for a while, and then Waxana visits later, and that's when we get Hot Loaf Time Machine.
Ooh, I really hope, because this, that is...
They're not being specific enough, are they?
I don't want to tip my hand at him, but I just really don't want to have had an opportunity to veto that and not.
Well, it's up to you whether or not you want to take that risk, I guess.
What if it's not that? What the fuck? These episode capsules don't tell you anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and I wish I could help you, but I'm just choosing not to.
I gotta do it. I gotta veto.
Oh God, really?
Just prophylactically, Adam.
As Denzel says in Crimson Tide, you're blind and deaf, and you want to shoot your missiles right now? You can't do that. You can't do that. I am positive that Lippinzahner stallions were born black, Ben, and I'm stopping you from the veto.
No, Adam, this was a good war.
We need 2-stage authentication.
Why would you get?
And the XO must agree. You don't have both. I'm locking you in the brig.
Why would you get on the other side of me on this one?
Because the Denzel side is the right side. The Denzel side is always the right side.
Oh.
You know what's funny is it's not even going to be the episode, I bet. I bet we just wasted them on nothing, and it's your fault. Because you didn't want to do the research. I hope it's not the episode.
First duty of every Starfleet officer is to the truth. Scientific truth, or historical truth, or personal truth.
The next episode is Season 6, Episode 7, Rascals.
Ugh.
A bizarre transporter mishap transforms Picard and 3 other staff members into children just as Ferengis invade and disable the ship. So maybe the 2 worst possible things in one episode. Do you remember this episode, Adam?
I hate this episode so much. I hate what they do to Ro here. I'm vetoing the episode, Ben.
Wait a second. Let's not be rash, Adam, because it's not great for Ro, but there is also
They stick a kid in Guinan's hat. That's gonna cause a developmental neck injury. You can't do that. It's too much hat.
Are you really seriously trying to veto right now?
Yeah, I am. What are you trying to ask me if I'm really seriously trying to do that? I do not joke around when it comes to the vetoes, Ben.
I know you don't, but I'm just thinking about, like...
You were unprepared for this, weren't you?
I'm never prepared when you try and veto. Because you veto like crazy things. Like, I think that this is
the last couple vetoes
watching.
I've had have been counter vetoes, so I realize this might be a real surprise to you.
I kind of like this episode. I mean, it's like as close as the show ever gets to somebody like being a miniature person walking around on a desk next to a giant stapler.
I feel like I'm Picard right now with this. Why are there fucking kids on the fucking starship? Like,
there's a lot to like about this season.
TBH, Ben?
Yeah.
I dislike this episode so much that I don't know that I've seen it in a very, very, very long time. So,
well, then you've made my decision for me, Adam. Counter veto. I think you should give it a second chance, and I think that second chance should come at the cost of you ruining another season for everybody.
I really hate that I talked you into the counter veto. I wish I hadn't done that. That's some bullshit right there. This is some real fucking George Lucasing of our favorite characters right now. Oh, you really like Guinan and want to know about her origin story? No, we're just gonna show her as a kid. I'm dreading this. I'm dreading this more than any episode, more than the fucking Robin Hood episode. What were the other ones that we vetoed? Like, I feel like we should play a montage of all our vetoes. Like, all those terrible dress-em-ups in the holodeck episodes. This is the one I hate more than those.
Well,
fucking rascals.
Sorry, pal.
What do we have coming up on the next episode, Ben?
The next episode is Season 7, Episode 7, Dark Page. Troy must probe her mother's psyche when a traumatic secret causes a psychic breakdown that threatens Lwaxana's life. Do you remember this episode, Adam?
Ben, I hate Lwaxana episodes. Not as much as you, though.
I hate them the most.
What do you want to do here?
It's tempting to veto. Very tempting. The thing that is giving me pause is that there are a lot of landmines in season 7, and I kind of think this might be one of the least worst Loxana episodes, and maybe there are there are still dragons in the direction that we're heading that I need to save my weapons for.
There is no greater dragon than Loxana Troy, though.
I don't know if I agree with that, Adam.
And this is a sure thing, Ben. It's a sure thing. I need to do the responsible thing here, Ben, and veto the episode.
No!
That's what's responsible. We're standing on a landmine. We see it. We've stepped on it. We've got to figure out a way to get our foot off of this thing.
Adam, you're such an idiot.
No, I'm not. I'm doing the right thing. This is so practical.
There's some real bad episodes in season 7.
This is a fully authenticated emergency action message. We are at alert 1 now. There is a Loxana ready to fire her missiles at us.
I do not concur, sir. I do not concur. Counter veto.
I should have known we would never get to use one of these. Well, here we are. We have shot.
Are we even gonna have vetoes when we get to Deep Space Nine, Adam?
We've shot every veto into the ground, like Yosemite Sam.
The people that have accused us of doing this as an extended bit are obviously wrong, but they have a lot of evidence on their side. This does appear to be just a charade.
They can believe whatever they want, but I would submit to a lie detector test about whether or not we pre-planned any of this. So, fuck those guys.
Fuck you. You're the worst.
Well,
worst podcast partner.
See you next time, Ben.